Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be talking about the new Wonka movie and Hollywood's obsession with telling the same storylines over and over. If you are interested, please stay tuned and watch the full video and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So let's get right to it. So I finally had the chance to watch the new Wonka movie. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. Like, I was expecting it to be horrible the way people kept reviewing it, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. And I notice now that Hollywood hears how many people are like saying, like, stop remaking things, stop remaking things. They have just decided, you know what? We're not going to remake it. We're going to make it a musical. We're going to make it a musical, and then what can you say? So this one was a musical. And they also made The Color Purple a musical, so I guess we're just going to see a lot more musicals now. I love musicals, but I don't want to see musicals of the same things I've already seen as a regular movie. But they did do something different with this one, so they just didn't retell the same Willy Wonka movie story. This was more of his origin story, so I like that they gave us something different in that regard. And it was a cute little story. I think it was kind of all over the place, but for the most part, I think it was a cute story. It shows he's always been a little bit weird and out there. I think they did play him up a lot more in this movie than the original, like his hat and stuff. Like, they added a bunch of stuff that wasn't in the original. So if you're going to tell his origin story, you need to make it make sense with the storyline that we already know, unless they are planning on coming back and making yet another Wonka movie where it now connects all these points, because I don't remember stuff coming out of his hat in the original movie. So why is stuff coming out of his hat now? Also, all these people, all these new characters you introduced in his origin story, where are they in the other story? Like, they briefly talked about the Oompa Loompas, but there's only one Oompa Loompa following him. And in the end, the Oompa Loompa did stay with him, but how did the other Oompa Loompas get there? So I feel like they were on the right track, but they didn't answer all the questions. Like, you left more questions about his origin story and how did we get to A to B. Also, why is everybody selling chocolate? Are y'all eating anything else? Like, why is there just shops of chocolate around here? Like, are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? Also, where did this cop come from? There's some cop here and they're paying everybody in chocolate. Okay, first off, I know y'all have money and y'all need money, because we saw him lose money at the beginning, which was a really weird way of saying he went broke, but he wasn't worried. Like, he lost 12 coins. I'm not really sure what that would be like in modern day cash, but he lost a lot of money in their currency in one day. Like, just getting off the boat, some boy came up to him and shined his shoes without asking. Like, first off, if you do something without me asking and you do it sneakily, do not be surprised when you don't get paid. Do not be surprised. They like to do that in New Orleans. I remember the first time I went, they grabbed my friends off the street and they tried to shove like shots down our throat, and I was not going for it. I was like, do not grab me like that. Do not try to put stuff in my mouth. And then they had the nerve to charge like $25 for a shot. For one shot. Excuse me? No. I did not ask for this. You gave it to me like it was free. I'm not paying. We're just going to have to duke it out, because I'm not paying for something I did not ask for. But long story short, he lost a bunch of money. He ended up in this weird hotel. But he also cannot read. I don't know why that was an important storyline to put in there. Well, for him to get scammed, I guess, but it could have just been like, oh, he didn't read the fine print like the rest of them. But no, he had to not be able to read. Honestly, never thought Wonka would have been a person that didn't know how to read. Like, he's so innovative and stuff. But yeah, they just added a bunch of different stuff to the storyline, I guess, just to make it more interesting. So he had an orphan who ended up teaching him how to read. Like I said, where are these people? Where are these people in the original movie? You added in all these characters. They helped you build up your factory. Where did they go? Like, why would you not take them with you to the factory? You only took the Oompa Loompa with you, which the Oompa Loompa was actually after him because he stole their beans. So the Oompa Loompa was coming back for revenge, and he's the one you took to the factory with you instead of the people that helped you get the factory in the first place. So are y'all going to make a part 2 to answer these questions? Because where are these people? If you're going to make an origin story, look at the original video and say what needs to be answered or what parts could connect and explain this. Okay, we got this one Oompa Loompa. How did the other Oompa Loompas get here? Did he go back and get them? Because I thought the other Oompa Loompas were mad at him. But from the sounds of it, they had no more beans on their island, so maybe they needed the work and they were able to convince them to come. But why did y'all not show that? Why are we showing him trying to be killed every 2 seconds by a cop who is obsessed with chocolate? Also, why are y'all accepting chocolate as a payment? I forgot to elaborate on that. Why are y'all accepting chocolate as a payment? If money is a real thing here, why are y'all, like, you're trying to unalive somebody for chocolate. For chocolate. Are y'all okay? Seriously, like, are y'all okay? All these chocolate shops, you need to be bribed by these 3 men for some watered down chocolate? I couldn't get it. Visually wise, the movie was not bad. Like I said, it was actually a pretty good movie. I kind of liked some of the songs. They were okay. But I can see why some people were like, it's bad, because it was just unnecessary, especially if you're going to add so many storylines that don't go back to the original. It's unnecessary. Also, how many Wonka movies are we going to make? That is my question. Like, since I have been alive, this is now the 3rd Wonka movie, at least the 3rd. Have there been 4? This is at least the 3rd one I've seen. I don't need another Wonka movie for a good minute. Like, the last one was not outdated. We did not need a new one. That's the same thing with Annie. Annie is like my favorite all-time movie. I can sing every single song by heart. So when that whole Mandela effect came up about the sun will come out tomorrow, you can play a lot of people. You are not going to play me, because I know those songs in and out. You were not going to play me about that, okay? So I'm happy they came out and said it was just the play that was different, because I was like, yeah, it's not from the movie. I know those lyrics. It's not from the movie. But they have remade Annie so many times, and I only watch one version of Annie. So y'all need to stop it. Like, we do not need all these versions of these movies, especially when they are not outdated yet. They have not reached outdatedness. Like, let the kids watch some old movies. We watched old movies. Let them watch old movies. Why don't y'all bring in new voices? Like I said, I was a film major. I understand how hard it is to, like, go up the ladder in Hollywood. And y'all need to stop, because the old heads are holding on to all those spots and positions, and they have ran out of ideas. Y'all have had your time. Collect your check. Go home. You have obviously ran out of ideas, and that is okay. You have made the name for yourself. You'll go down in history. Let it go, and let the new people come in who have new, better ideas, instead of y'all just recycling the old things. Like, oh, this worked at this point, so let's just remake it. Stop it. We don't want you to remake it. We want brand new stories. And I know there are so many stories out there. That's also why I love Tubi, because you can see all the people out there who have good stories. Obviously, some of them do not have good budgets. I do believe if they had good budgets and, like, the backing of an actual production company, we would have a lot of good movies out there. But because they are gatekeeping and holding so close to that circle, we're going to continuously get bad movies, remakes, because they have ran out of ideas. They don't want to admit it. And maybe they're waiting for the nepotism babies to get grown and then they'll let those positions be open. But honestly, I don't really want to hear from nepotism babies. They all have like the same silver spoon in the mouth experience. I want to hear from real people who have lived in the real world and experienced different things. I don't need to hear about your luxury life. I don't need to hear about your luxury life viewpoint of the everyday life that you have never lived a day in your life. So let the new people in, give them some money to make these good movies, and let it go. Like, it was a nice try. At least you didn't fully remake the Wonka movie, but we also did not need his origin story. I don't think a single one of us asked what his origin story was. Like, thank you for trying to make it a little bit different, but we didn't ask. And now you have only left me with more questions. So it wasn't a bad movie, but it was a waste of time. Like, you can't leave me with more questions. So if you're going to make a part 2, which you probably are, honestly, how did the other Oompa Loompas get there? Why are we being bribed in chocolate? Can we try this chocolate? How good is this chocolate that you're bribing people with chocolate? I want to try it. Like, I want to try it, because if I'm going to sit up here and committing crimes for chocolate, it better be some good chocolate. What were y'all putting in there? Also, Wonka's mom, I guess they were trying to explain why we never saw his parents in the first movie. I never wondered where his parents were either, because he was pretty old. Like, I think I always figured they were just dead, but they added that storyline in too. I feel like that kind of would show why he had like such a connection with Charlie in the first movie, but I still don't see why y'all added that part in. It was just all so random, just trying to pick at straws. Like, maybe y'all sat there wondering about his origin story and this is what y'all came up with. Yeah, that's all I can think about. Also, how did they not shut down this hotel? This hotel charged him $10,000 for one night. They were like, you used the bar soap next to the sink. That's an extra charge. Like, they're literally holding people hostage downstairs in a sweatshop to pay off debts that they scammed people over. What is wrong with this town? The police are committing crimes for chocolate. Are y'all okay? Just let me know, are y'all okay? This man just gave away his niece. Like, y'all, what is wrong here? He gave away his niece because he wanted to be the sole heir to some money. What? Like, first off, wouldn't it go to you anyway since you're the oldest? And you couldn't just give her a little bit of money? I'm pretty sure her mom wasn't even asking for money. Her mom was just like, hey, she's sick. Can you help me? And then for you to tell her the baby is gone, or you could have just gave her a little bit of money and said, hey, woman, never come back to this door again. Like, you had to take her whole child away from her and throw her into a sweatshop? Y'all, this went from a happy movie to something sinister. I don't even know. Is there anything else from this movie? There was so much. Like I said, there was so much going on. The giraffe. Do giraffes actually have milk? Do giraffes actually have milk? How did you find that out? I have so many questions. So he uses giraffe milk for the chocolate. I think I could have went without knowing that. I grasping at straws. Grasping at straws. Also, his candy does a lot more. So, like, he had one candy that basically made you drunk and pass out. We had the floating candy again. Like, this was not a children's movie. This was not a children's movie. It couldn't have been. Like, now that I'm like thinking back through all like the crimes that happened in this movie, this was not a children's movie. This definitely had to be for like us to answer some questions that none of us ever had. But if we had them, they're trying to answer them, because this could not have been a children's movie. Y'all cannot be for real right now. But at the same time, I still don't think it was a bad movie. I'm kind of perplexed. Like, maybe it just shouldn't have had Wonka's name on it. Maybe it should have been somebody else's story. I don't know. I'm up in arms. I'm up in arms about it because it technically wasn't horrible. It just was so unnecessary. And it just left me with so many more questions. Is there anything else? Oh, the priest. Oh my. Where did the priest come from? We're also bribing the priest with chocolate. Like I said, does nobody want money around here? Y'all are 3 rich men. I don't want your chocolate. Why is there a chocolate vault scheme, crime, lair under the church? You know what? Maybe it was a bad movie. Maybe it was. Maybe I just didn't sit here and think about it long enough. Maybe. I have no idea. Is there anything else from the... Oh, they literally tried to unalive this man. I know twice. Once, death by chocolate, literally. And once on a boat. He was leaving already. They said, let's make sure you don't come back. Is this child appropriate? Is this what we're showing children now? This is what we're showing children. Okay. Alright. Let me know what your thoughts are. I know this was just kind of me rambling. I feel like my opinion changed as I was talking. But I still don't know. I'm still confused about it because I still don't think it was a horrible movie. I still don't. Like, something in me still doesn't want to say it was quite horrible. But I can see why it has bad reviews. But because it left us with so many questions, I just know they're going to make a part 2. A part 2 that nobody asked for once again. And they're just going to pull out all the stops. So let me know. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.